Evening everybody, Rich here, back for part 10 and the final part of this SS Bremen tutorial. Today's focus will be the lifeboats, handrails, some small details like a few doors and windows, and also the cutaway in the side of the ship. It's basically a small promenade, but it's nothing really relevant. So that will be pretty much it for this tutorial. And what we're going to do, before we start anything, we're going to go down to the side of the ship, the side of the bow, and I'm on the right hand side of course. And we're going to go down to where the black part of the hull on the bow goes to its, or raises to its highest point, which is this area here. So we've got the bow comes along and it goes up to here. Now we're going to find the first block, which is that one, and go to the second one down, which is that one. Second one down, I'm going to count back to the fourth block, so 2, 3 and 4. And then from the fourth block, I'm going to cut a hole. So this is where the open and promenade begins. I'm going to get rid of those blocks there. So that's the first block, and we're going to cut it down to 2. Cause it's going to be 18 blocks long and 2 blocks high. So it's 2 blocks high already now. So it should be 18 long. So that's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's 18 like that, and then we just double it in height. Like so. So you got a big cutaway like that, and if you want to, you can put one block back in the corner to make it sort of a curved promenade. You can't really see it very well because of the light, but that's the cutaway there. So what I do the same on the other side just to open up a bit of light because it's dark as hell in there. So go to the other side. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll start cutting. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And double it in height. Like that. And then put a corner block back. So there we go, that's both sides done. But as you can see, it's just a big hole. You know, it's hollow inside. So if you want to, it's entirely up to you if you want to do this. If you can actually get inside without making a tit of yourself, we can add a sort of wall. So I use night vision for this. So what I'm going to do, what you can do if you want to, is add inside walls all the way along to this point, like on the previous decks, or on the decks above. But as this is just a small area, we're not really going to need walls all the way along. I'm just going to try and find the quartz blocks there. And what we're going to do, we're going to go from the end block of the 18, and we're going to go 1, 2, roughly 3 blocks back, and then we're just going to build a wall about 5 long like that, and then build it all the way forward. It's basically just to make it look like there's a corridor here rather than just an open space. So just build that all the way forward to connect to the back of the superstructure, or the back of the front wall, and just increase that in height to 3 high. Like so. Just keep doing this. La 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 la. And then for the sidewall here. And there we go, that's what I'm trying to explain. You've got a sort of corridor wall there. And if you want to, you can add doors and windows, which is always important. You've got to have doors and windows to these things. So I'll add a few windows here and there. Put a door or 2 there, and put a window or 2 here. There we go, that's the open corridor sort of thing I'm talking about. So it's an open corridor but open promenade, so it's accessible. It looks very light at the moment, but that's because I'm using the night vision. As soon as that goes away, it will look more natural, or more natural light anyway. So that's sort of what I'm trying to explain. You got the open area there anyway. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a quick. I'm not going to do a jump cut. I'm going to do a copy paste. I'm going to copy this, flip it over, and paste it on the other side, so I can actually get in there. So I'm going to copy from there up to this centre block here. And I'm going to copy and flip it. So we go copy, flip to the right, and then we paste. And in theory, that should have worked. In reality, it has worked. Right, there we go. That's the other side done. And I've got 22 seconds of night vision left. So, might as well wait. So I do a quick... well, I'm going to do a jump cut because it doesn't really matter. But so I just paused the video and then it would just take less time. Okay, so that's the night vision gone, and you can see it's more... well, I say natural light. You can add torches in here now to make it look more cosy, if you like, and sort of more lit up. But the night vision sort of exaggerated it. But so that is how that should look. It's sort of the open area on the side there. There's nothing really special, but hey, there you go. But that's at least it's done now, anyway. So you got the that whole area all done. Right, now above that, you've got this front slab, which is the front wall of the main superstructure. Now I'm going to add some windows to that. The front portion, this front straight wall here, we're not going to touch because that's not got windows on it. But either side of that, on the curved wall around, it's got windows. Now from the bottom row, I'm going to add a single row of windows. So I'll go from about this point, which is 1 block away from the straight walls. So a window there, then a window, then a window. Well, that's pretty much it really, because I can't really add any more because of the curve of the ship. But you've got 3 windows like that. And then above that, sort of, where would the deck be? The deck would be there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 up. We add, hang on. So yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 up. We add 2 high windows. I keep getting stuck on that thing. Right, so yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Add a 2 high window. Next row along, add a 2 high window. Next row along, add a 2 high window. And there you go. You got basically just 3 windows. Because like I said, the curve of the ship in this area isn't really worth trying to argue with. But that's that area done. I'll do the same on the other side. It's not all that difficult. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Do the same. Window there, there and there, and there and there. So we go. There's the 2 halves or 2 sides done. And that's how that should look. On the real ship, of course, there was actually windows on this area, but because it's Minecraft, you can't really add windows to corner blocks. It just looks weird. But you can add windows if you want to. I'm not saying you can't. It looks weird. That's my opinion, anyway. But hey ho, that's that. I think that's pretty much it in that area. So what we're going to do now, we're going to try and do the lifeboats. Now there's going to be 12 lifeboats all along the side here. So we'll go. It's actually on this deck here. So you got the promenade down here. And you've got the deck, the boat deck here. Now this is a bit awkward because of the curve of the deck. You can see from here the deck is curved. It's not straight. So lining up the lifeboat davits is a bit more awkward. But if we do this properly and follow my instructions, jokingly, it should all come together. So before I do that, just going to quickly examine my notes to make sure I got this right. So bear with me a second. Right, so what we're going to do, we've got the so on the boat deck, working on the right hand side, so we're at the front end of the ship. You've got this slopey wall here, so you've got the slopey down wall there. 1 block back from that, so you've got a single block gap, and then the next block along, we're going to start building on this block here. So what we're going to do, we're going to build up 4 rows of 2, so that's 1 row of 2, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. Excuse me. So that's 4 rows of 2 up like that, and then you want 5 across, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. I'm going to sneeze again. Yeah, so it's 5 across, and then on the 4th block of that, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to build up. How are you going to build this out? You're going to build up 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then 2 back like that. So your lifeboat gantry davit thing looks like that. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 5 across, 3 up, 2 across like that. And right, how we do this is each pair of lifeboats or each pair of davits will be in the same position, so they'll be symmetrical with each other. But the next pair of lifeboat davits will be either 1 block further back or 1 block further forward, depending on where on the deck they are. So this first lifeboat gantry will be together. Don't question that, or don't think what the hell I'm talking about. I'm not explaining it very well, so I might as well just build it. Alright, so I've got the first gantry there, And what you're going to do, you're going to leave a 16 block gap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then on the 17th block, we build a next gantry davit. Now, as you can see, because of the where the deck curves, the next gantry davit is actually one block back. This is just to keep the lifeboat straight, but that's the way it is. So the next group of lifeboat davits will be on the outside edge, and then along this edge, and the next row will be probably on the next row, depending wherever the first block or wherever the first gantry is in the row that you're building is where the second one will be as well. Just to make things a bit easier. So we'll just remove these blocks. So it's a 16 block gap, and we build our second gantry. So it's 2 up, and then 2 up, 2 up, and 2 up, and then 4 across because of the way that the curve of the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then on that end block, you go up 1, 2, 3, and then 2 across like that. Like I said, because of the positioning of the deck, and the positioning of the lifeboats, the top row is always either 1 block shorter or 1 block longer because of the curvature of the deck, but can't really explain it better than that. But that's the first 2 gantries. Then what I'm going to do is going to build the first boat. So we'll build the first boat on the top row of 2. So you've got the 4 rows of 2. We're going to build the lifeboat on the top row of 2 there like that. So we build the first block, so 2 down and then 2 down. And then do the same on the other side, so go 2 down and 2 down. Join them across the bottom, like that. You can raise it up as well if you want to, so what I might do is raise the boat up, because you haven't got much headroom underneath. So I'll raise the boat up, so instead of building it directly on that block, you build it 1 block and then 1 block up, like that, for the boat, and then 2 down. Just so you've got enough headroom, and then build all the way across for the bottom. So you got headroom. You got 3 block gap between the ground and the bottom of the boat. And then what you want to do is add another block there and another block there, and then join them across like so. Remember, you don't have to follow this as gospel. I mean, I'm just doing this because it's my sort of usual boat design. So that's the lifeboat there, and then what you do on the next round, you put a block there, and then you build a zigzag out like that, and then down to the other side. Same on this side, block, then zigzag out like that, and then zigzag out on the other side, and then zigzag out on the other side there. So that's the basics of the boat. I can't explain it any better than that. I'm just trying to do this as quick as I can without cocking it up. So the lifeboat itself, you can design any way you want. It's just a gantry davits that were the important things. But that's that. So what I'll do, I'm just going to use the red blocks to fill in the canvas cover, and to give the boat a bit more strength as well. There we go. There's the boat. So that's the first boat and gantry davits done. So that is that. So the next next gantry davit you're going to build along, you're going to leave a single block gap from the first davit along. So a block gap there, and then your next gantry davit would be here, but it's actually on the edge of the ship. So we start the next gantry davit here. So like I said, wherever the first davit begins, the next one will follow. So it's also because of the outside edge of the ship curves. Like I said, not explaining this very well, so you may want to go ahead and do this yourself and not worry about what I'm saying. Anyway, we'll do the same thing again. So it's 2, 2, 2, plus 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because of where the position is. And then build up 3, and then 2 across. And then leave your 16 block gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we build our next davit. Of course, the outside edge hasn't changed, so the gantry will be on the same level. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and 1. And that's the second gantry in place. I won't bother building the boat. I think what I'll do, I'll just put the gantries in position. So that's the first gantry complete. That's how it'll look when it's complete. The second set are in place, and they're all in the right position. So what I'll do again, well that's gantry set number 2. So we'll go to gantry set number 3, leave a single block gap, and then we build the same again. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and 1. And then the 16 block gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then the same again. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 2. And again, that's the third set. And then the next row along, we put the first gantry, leave a single block gap, we'll put the first gantry davit on the outside edge, so it's one out, it's one across and one back. Or one back from there and then one across to the outside edge. So now we're moving, the ship is moving outwards. So do the same again, so it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's the first of davit set number 4. And we add the 16 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And we build again. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's gantry set number 4. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. And then basically gantry set 5 and so on along the outside edge will be in the same position. And then what you do, you curve back inwards again. And eventually you'll end up with 12. So there's 12 boats altogether. There'll be 12 lifeboat davits and gantries. Or lifeboats and gantry davits. Pairs of gantry davits. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to do a quick jump cut while I fill in the rest, because it's going to take a while. So I'll fill in the rest of the lifeboat gantries and the lifeboats themselves, and then I'll explain how they're meant to be in position. So back in a minute. Okay, back again. Now I've got all the lifeboats in place, and hopefully I'll be able to explain a bit better what the positioning of the lifeboat gantries are like. So you see the first ones are over the first curve of the ship, so you see there. The next set of gantries are straight, next set are straight as well. And the next set are one block out because of the curve again. The next set are along that same edge as on the next set. And then the next set after that, because they're on the outside edge actually. Then the next set after that, so it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 or 6 lifeboats along this outside edge. And then after that, the final 3 lifeboats curve inwards, so you've got the curve there. The lifeboats are on the outside edge of that. And the last lifeboat is on the final curve as well. So yeah, that's how that should look. It's not very well explained, but if you go along and do it yourself, you'll probably see the issue that we have because of the curve. It makes the lifeboat sort of staggered, and it makes things look a bit weird. That's usually one of the issues I had when building these types of ships. That's why I usually build them with straight edges. So it didn't look right, but it looked right at the time. So yeah, I got the lifeboats on the other side as well. So that is all the lifeboats in place. There's 24 in total that I've added. You probably should have more, but I can't be bothered to add any more. You might be able to squeeze one more boat onto the edge there. You might be able to get one more boat there to bring it up to 26. But it's up to you how you want to do that. Alright, so last job of the day is just to add the handrails and probably listen to me ramble on about various things in life. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the tip of the bow. Well, not the tip of the bow, but the area above it. So we've got the forecastle here, which is the area on the bow. Not going to touch that. I'm going to go to the straight edges on the side, on the back end of the forecastle. We've got the wall here. Just going to add handrails around that. So I'll start on the front and work around the sides. So that is that area done there. So basically, wherever there's a straight edge with no wall attached, just add handrails, and then the same across the side of the black here. Once again, we've got this issue here. If we just get a black block a minute. We've got this issue here, because usually I put iron bars like that. But because there's a coloured block underneath, in this case the wood block, I remove it and put a black block, and then put the handrails on. It just gives it a clean edge, basically. Makes it look a bit more, well, not professional, but more well done. Same on this one. Remove that block, put it replaced with a black, and then we can start carrying on with the handrails, and the same with this one as well. Handrails carry on. up to the edge there. Don't need to go right up to that edge there because there's nothing there. So we go up to about there. And that side looks fine. So I do the same on the other side. Don't really need to explain much more, but we'll go along the side there and there. This is usually when I'm doing the handrails. I usually mutter on about to various things. Probably talk about the next ship that I'm planning on doing. I don't really have any plans for the next ship. I've been requested SS Rex, the Canberra. A lot of people want me to redo the Titanic. I don't really want to, but as it's sort of more demand than supply, I suppose I should really. I'm not going to be doing the Olympic and the Britannic tutorials because really I don't really want to do the tutorial 3 times for the same ship effectively and just change things very slightly. I mean, I've already done the sinking of the Olympic and the Britannic from the depths, and I don't really want to do a whole tutorial dedicated to ships that are very, very, very slightly different to each other. But anyway, that's that handrails done in that area. So I'm going up to the behind the bridge wings now and just add handrails around that. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what else to do tutorial wise. I might go ahead and do an Isle of Wight ferry. I've been asked to do an Isle of Wight ferry, one of the car ferries, or even the Sea Cats. I think they're the Sea Cats, I can't remember, but they're the red funnel ferries for the Isle of Wight. Might do one of those, a sort of short, simple design, and yeah, might do one of those. That's the bridge deck down, so I'm just doing the on top of the bridge now with the handrails. Just do it along the side here. So SS Rex, Titanic, Canberra. There's a few cargo ships as well, which can't really remember what they were called, but there's a few cargo ships as well. Some that need. So I have done cargo ships in the past, but not really much to talk about. You know, they're just fairly simplistic in their design, so I don't really want to go back and sort of do them again. Got a few ferries. So I'm just going back over what I've already done. But yeah, so what did I say? It was Rex, Canberra, Titanic. There was a couple of others. I can't remember what it is. I'm not doing Poseidon, alright? I'm not going to do the Poseidon from 2006. I don't really want to do that because it's just an ugly looking ship. I also don't really want to do... What was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was. There was another ship that I've been asked to do, but I don't really want to do it. Titanic 2, don't want to do that one because it's it's bullshit basically. A pipe dream by an Australian billionaire, and also a very bad film as well. Don't think I've ever seen it all the way through. I don't think I've even seen the James Cameron Titanic film all the way through. I think most of the time I fall asleep, so shows how good the film is. Damn it, doing damage. So yeah, just adding handrails around the wings on the side here. And then across the back. So yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Titanic all the way through. I think I usually get to I think it's the love story that puts me off. I think that bores me to death, and I fall asleep. And then when I wake up, it's usually the ship's either sinking or sunk. So that sort of destroys the plot there, or for me anyway. So I sort of missed the whole thing. And I like to remember it's a better film anyway. It's sort of the British stiff upper lip, if you like. There you go. So where are we? We're at the back of the this area. So I'm just doing it along the side here with the handrails. On the side. What other ships can I build? I've got plenty to do on from the depths for the minute. I mean, I got the Bremen to sink on from the depths. I'm also building the Empress of Ireland, which is something that I've been requested to do from the depths. I did build the Empress of Ireland in a tutorial, but I no longer have the model available to me, so I had to go through my tutorial and build it from that. I also don't have the Queen Mary 2 anymore. I've got the tutorial still, but I don't want to go through the hassle of building it. This is just a quick request from me. If anyone has followed my Queen Mary 2 tutorial and has the model, a schematic or a save game available to me, I would be much appreciated, because I could use that to sink it. I mean, it's basically what people want me to do. Sink my Queen Mary 2, but I don't have it anymore. So if anyone has it, built it themselves and are willing to share, I'd be much appreciated. Because I can't really be asked to go through the tutorial anymore. Or again, because I mean it took me several days to build it originally. So yeah, if anyone has it, then if they're willing to share with it, then share it with me. and then I can sink it. But if not, then don't worry. I might go through the process of doing the tutorial eventually, but I'll have to wait and see on that one. But that's the reason I haven't done Queen Mary 2. What other ones are there? There's I might redo Andrea Doria for a sinking, but I'm not sure. While we're here, I'm just on the lifeboat deck now. So on the area below the lifeboats, and just adding the handrails there. So underneath the lifeboats up to the gantries. So yeah, I've got plenty to do on From the Dead. So I'm not really sure what else ship-wise to do, or ship buildings. Just trying to think. But there are a lot that have been listed. Oh, Normandy as well. I've been asked to do the Normandy again. Now, I did do the Normandy about 4 years ago. Well, 3-4 years ago. I originally, I remember when I did it, I did the first few videos I was talking, and then the last few videos I did with text, because people didn't like me talking, so I thought, fuck it. We'll just go through the process of typing everything again. The ship wasn't very accurate anyway, although saying that, what ships of mine are. But I took it down after a year or so, and ever since then people have been requesting it. So I think what I'm going to have to do is go back and redo, or build again, a new Normandy. Now I'm not going to do it straight away, because I've got to plan ahead with it, but Normandy is a possibility, as it's one of the more popular requests, along with Titanic, of course, even though I've already done 2 Titanic tutorials. Yeah, right at the end of the boat deck here, so just curving in the handrails in this area. But yeah, I've already done Titanic twice. I don't really want to do it again, but supply and demand says otherwise. Mauritania, I've already done the Mauritania, the 2-funnel version, and it's basically Lusitania again. A few changes, but it is effectively the same ship. Not really sure what else to do. There are plenty of ships out there. There's hundreds of ships, isn't there? Might do a paddle steamer. There's one of those. I always thought about doing one of those. An old paddler. Not the Great Eastern or the Great. What was it? The Great Eastern was Brunel's ship on there. What was the other one he done? It doesn't matter. It's the Eastern anyway, which was the paddler, I think. But I'm going to do one of those because it just looks just a behemoth. It's basically just a big wooden hull with a paddler on the side, or either side, so I don't really want to do that one. So I might do one of the more modern compared to that paddle steamers, maybe even a tugboat steamer, OJ from the Tugs or something. I might do that. Could do it in From the Depths really, because that's catered for paddle steamers and things. I'm just making holes in the side of the ship for no reason. So yeah, I think a paddler in From the Depths is would be a good one. Loads of paddle ships in From the Depths actually. If you load up one of the enemy ships, a lot of them are paddlers. They got the single paddle on the back though. Not a lot of them have. There's a few, but not many that have the side paddles. But yeah, one of those should be quite good to do, or at least build it in Minecraft and then convert it to From the Depths. I'll wait and see. I might do that. What else is there? I've also got another sinking coming up in the next couple of days for the Confident Gamer. I keep saying to myself, I've got to sink his ship, but I haven't got round to it yet. So I may do that later on today, and then put the video up. It's basically a basic cruise ship versus the Emma Jane, so that'd be interesting. Was going to use the Mamba, but of course Mamba's dead. So that's that. So that's the boat deck handrails done. So we'll go to the area above the boat deck, to this area here, where the gantry is attached to the superstructure. We'll just add the handrails here, if I can get round. So handrails in this area. La 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 la. So yeah, that is what I've got to do today. So I've got to sink from the Confident Gamer's cruise ship, which would be a laugh because it's only little, but he wants it destroyed. Good advertised, actually, really, isn't it? If you want to advertise, just ask me to sink your ship. And I have said this before. If you want me, if you want me to sink your Minecraft design, just send it to me. Tell me what it is. Tell me who you are, and I'll sink it for you. Don't have to, of course. But I'm mainly just sinking my own ships for fun, really. But hey, here, there we go. Oh, bloody hell, done more damage. So yeah, that's job for today. Like I said, I've also got the. I'm going to be sinking the Bremen as well. The Bremen is going to be a massive ship to sink. I mean, this is Queen Mary size ship, so it's going to be an awkward one to convert first, because converting a ship is not as straightforward as like I made out in the video. I might redo that tutorial. If you want me to redo that converting ship tutorial, then I will do, because it wasn't very good when I done it, and it's sort of done on a rush. So if you want me to redo it, I will. I know some people complained, but just let me know. But yeah, the Bremen is going to be one of those ships that's going to be really awkward to convert because of the size, and getting the balance right as well. Because I mean, you got to get the ship to sit right in the water. Because there's no point making it all one material, because it's just going to roll over. So the bottom is probably going to have to be heavy armour, the top metal, and the wooden decks. But we'll see when we get there. It'll be a laugh anyway, seeing it destroyed. So you see me build it, and then you're going to see me destroy it. All part of fun, of course. So just get these handrails in on the side here. So heading, where are we now? We're heading back towards the bridge. There's all handrails along the side. And I have actually got the ship converted, well, half converted to from the depths. It's already ready to go into from the depths. It's all about getting it to float and sit upright. So that is a job for later on as well. But yeah, what was I explaining? Yeah, I was explaining I have got the Empress of Ireland to sink as well. I haven't finished building it yet, because I'm still going through my tutorial. It's only a short tutorial of 5 videos, so I'm halfway through it. So I'm building the Empress of Ireland again from my tutorial, just to sink in from the depths. And it will be fun as well, because always sinking ships in from the depths is fun, especially when it's someone else's. So there, this Empress of Ireland will be a from the depths video later on as well. We'll see what happens there. So yeah, not sure what else to do. I don't do naval ships, of course. People keep asking me to build a certain battleship, but I don't make videos for navy ships. So that's those handrails there. I think that is almost all done. Just fly down to the back end. Now we've got handrails around this deck house here with the mast. Just add the handrails around here. So this wouldn't take long. Can't think of anything else to talk about now. And I was saying that I haven't added any windows to this deck house. I started adding windows, but I never got around to finishing it. So never mind. But I'm sure you've already done it. So there's that deck house done. So where are we now? We're onto the stern area now. So just got to add handrails around the stern. How many decks is it? We've got that deck below, and deck below. So about 3, 4 decks roughly. 3 to 4 decks, I'm not really sure. So just this last area on the stern, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. We've got the docking bridge here. It's sort of a 2 docking bridge, isn't there? You've got this area here where the stern of the ship curves outwards, and also up there with those 2 wings by the second funnel. But never mind, we've got double the safety really, or double the docking capabilities. So across the back end here, and then up the other side as per usual, without making holes and things. These bloody iron bars, not very good, are they? When they're on their own, they're a pain in the ass. You can't, break them properly, especially when you're in a rush. You got to line up and do it. Get lined up. But never mind. So what else can I do? I've got the list I've already told you. Not really sure what else to do. Might follow up the steam locomotive, I suppose. The steam locomotive I've got on this map somewhere. I think it's over that way somewhere, next to the Wilhelm Gustloff. It's over there somewhere. Or next deck below, rather. Sorry. Do the handrails there. So yeah, I got the steam locomotive I'd done. I think it was the Flying Scotsman. Wasn't a very popular tutorial because of, well, not really sure why, but probably because of its sheer basicness. And I made a hole again. Yeah, the sheer basicness of the design is probably why it lacks. But then again, the semi-truck, which I did a tutorial for, is more simple and basic than a rubber band, and people still watch it. I mean, it's over 1 million views now for some reason that video has. And it's not even a very good design, it's just the sheer basicness of it. I don't know, maybe that's why, I don't know. But 1 million people have looked at it. You know, I'm not complaining, you know, it's just why? Why is that so popular and yet my other videos aren't? Or why is the more complex stuff I built not popular? I don't know. There we go, never mind. Anyway, let's crack on with these handrails. Nearly done. We've got another deck below to go, and then we can knock it off from there. So just carry on along in this area here. So we're in the open area here. There we go, that's that one. And the last deck, I believe, is this one here. On the black section, we just add the handrails, hopefully in the right place. And be able to, bloody hell, be able to call it a day. So basically just listening to me rabbit on for a few minutes. Oh, there we go, we've got this problem again. We've got to put the blocks in the right places, and then we add the handrails to there, and then we carry on from there. But to build this thing, I originally thought building this ship was going to be really difficult, or well, for a tutorial rather, because I mean, the complexity of the hull compared to my other ships, really, you know, it was something I was sort of dreading doing a tutorial for, but it come off quite well. Better than I expected. I didn't think I'd be able to do anything this complex in the time frame that I've done it in, but it come off much better than I expected, and there's a lot of appreciation for it as well. I mean, people seem to be liking the more modern design of the hull, well, I'm not saying more modern, but more realistic design. Most of my ships prior to this were sort of slabs, but yeah, I think I moved up a step, and yeah, I think I'll be able to try and continue it with other ships, depending on what ships they are, of course, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, like I said, it was something I was dreading, but I pulled it off in the end, and a success it became. And there we go, that's the handrails all added. I think that's everything done, and there's no handrails needed on the final deck below. No, that is all fine. So that is pretty much it for the Bremen. You can add a few more things on the stern here. I mean, the stern does look very basic, or empty rather. You can add a few vents and bollards and things like that. I won't bother because I can't be bothered. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this tutorial. That is the SS Bremen, and all completed. And thank you very much for watching, and all things like that. The people who have actually taken time to build these things. I mean, there's a lot of people on Minecraft Pocket Edition that have gone through this and building it block by block. You deserve a medal for attempting something this big on a block by block process. A lot of people on console as well are building this as well, but I see a lot of people doing it in a team, which is more advisable, because I mean, building this sort of thing on your own is suicidal. So if you've got a team of people, then you're better off, but doing it on your own, I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, that is it for the SS Bremen. Thanks very much for watching and subscribing and all things like that. And the next time you'll see the Bremen is when it is being destroyed in From the Depths, which will be maybe in a couple of days, I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. You'll know as well as I will. You'll know when it's up. Then you can watch it from there. But anyway, this is Rich signing off, logging off and disappearing, and I shall return with another tutorial as and when. So bye for now.